This is Jeremy Zwingeren with the Rice Trader. I'm happy to be here to summarize the Rice Trader from July 30th. As every week, it's been interesting. In fact, very interesting on a lot of levels. So I'm just going to get into it this week. First, of course, I usually end with this, but please register for the World Rice Conference. It's going to be a very large conference the way it looks. The earlier registrations, the better, and of course it's cheaper and better for all of us. Of course, it's October 10th, 12th in Hanoi. Make sure you get your hotel rooms and sign up. And of course, it being our 10th anniversary, we'd love to see every one of our clients and our friends sponsor and just enjoy this 10th World Conference with us. We're also throwing the World Rice, the Lord of Rice contest, and actually it's the best chef contest that we take to the World Conference. And it's going to be a rice beer contest as well on September 3rd here in Sacramento. If you have the time, come on, swing in. We'll give you a tour of the rice industry and just host you out here. It should be a great time. Actually, later today on that same note, I'm going to be out in rice fields. Going to the Rice Research Center here in California, and there's a large group of international scientists I'm meeting to kind of look at the advancements in yield, advancements in technology, and just kind of learn a little bit. And so I think this is also important for all of us in the trade. You know, we're just in one sector. You know, just like this chef event, it hooks us to the consumer sector. This rice research hooks us to the scientific center. It's very important as traders for us to understand all parts, including the politics, including the currency, including all pieces. You know, our market is not a simple one day to day. You know, between currency risk and political risk and trade risk, there's so much we have to watch that it's important to watch on a lot of different levels. Anyway, with that, let's get into the Rice Trader. I think I'm going to continue on my key point. I continue to see extremely high supplies globally and extremely volatile political things occurring. These are both probably the key variables that will continue for quite some time. Again, we have the largest rice supply since 2000-2001. It looks like they're going to be very good crops, and we're going to gain stocks going into next year. You know, the current flooding that we're talking about in the Rice Trader, the current, concerns of production, they're big. But one always has to remember, it's usually drought that leads to less production. Sometimes it is rain, but almost always it's drought that leads to major reduction in rice production. So that's my key thing. I think you have to watch this oversupply situation. I continue to believe the U.S. rice futures, which we'll talk about in a second, is extremely overvalued. But also the political situation. If you just get into it, a lot of the leaders, a lot of fund managers are telling me they feel like this is a late 90s to 80s, early 90s to late 80s type mentality. More government interference, more stops, more tariffs, more issues in a time when the supplies are extremely high. And you're seeing some of the programs that were in the U.S. in the late 80s, and 90s come back. Talk of building food stock purchases, talk of giving growers direct payments all the way to the WTO limits. Very fascinating time. If I shift a little bit away from the U.S., this is also going on in other countries. I mean, you can look at the Thai elections coming up, and of course the reintroduction of the rice scheme and how that's going to affect us. How is the rice scheme going to come out? What level, and what will be the overall effects? Very interesting time politically, and especially for China. I mean, we're seeing China probably going to be one of the top 5 exporters this year. You're seeing it in Puerto Rico, you're seeing it in Turkey, you're seeing it in East Africa, you're seeing it in West Africa to a point. This Chinese old crop situation is a huge piece, which we talked about last year in the World Conference. Our wonderful PhD scientists had mentioned that they thought China would be a massive exporter, and that has sure held true for the first half of the year. All right, let's just move on. What else am I saying? In addition to that, there is talk of Mr. Trump, President Trump, giving $12 billion to the egg industry. In meetings yesterday, we were told that it's almost all soybeans, corn and wheat, 50% soybeans. Rice got none of that $12 billion, which is very negative for the rice futures. The rice industry in the U.S. put out a daily that really attacked this and attacked President Trump's thoughts on this. This is a very key piece to watch. The rice not getting anything, 20% increase in crop, Mexico down 30%, Central America down 33%. You're really setting up a perfect system of huge price decline. And this is even before the U.S. chalky issue and quality issues probably come back in huge measures this year. Because it's a larger crop, you're probably going to see a lot more quality issues. In addition to that, I guess I just move on to price. Prices were up this week on demand, being a little bit better. Overall, obviously, prices have a lot of weakness. How low will they go is a question. And obviously, this is a debate between a lot of people. Will you continue to see the prices move down? And as we showed very well in the last week's Rice Trader with the price section, there's a lot of volatility and we've seen a lot of shifts. Throughout the world, there's just a lot going on. The Iraqi tender was a key piece, but it never came. It's clear that the flooding issues and rain issues are causing issues in Asia. The Philippines continues to talk and shift in its demand. What are they going to do? Just overall, we're just seeing a lot of shifts. On the year, we're still up about 3%, being a record year of demand. The problem is our supplies are still records. So even that 3% increase in demand and exports, we're still going to gain global stocks. We almost need to be up 6-7%. And again, it's nearly 22 million tons through July 24th. We are having an amazing year. And this is even without China's numbers. This is just the 5 majors. If you add China's numbers in there, it's probably even a larger trade year on many levels. So, I've gone on a little bit more than I'd like. Of course, as always, we do some special sections. There's a great parboiled section in section 10 this week. Definitely take a look at it. The parboiled market's very interesting. More in depth on Vietnam as well. And overall, it's been an amazing week. A lot of interesting things happen, and hopefully this quick summary of the Rice Trader is helpful. With that, I'm going to sign off. I wish you guys a blessed week, and look forward to talking to you next week.